Okay.
What?
Uncle John's chair. Oh, I'm just finishing off this video. This is Uncle John's chair. I'm telling you people, I am so weak. Just that little walk outside. I'm weak, people. And I twisted my ankle the other day because my bones are getting weaker. Right? And I'm having panic attacks. I'm telling you this just for the simple fact that this is the reality of the situation. Nobody's going to put a smile on their face when they're being badgered to death. Right? Psychological warfare, gaslighting techniques, intimidation, threats. Like, this is homegrown terrorism with individuals that, in light of how Fraser Health monitors its employees and, make sure that they're not being unscrupulous and, operating under misconduct and with, their own personal agendas, whether it's appeasing one of their co-workers in terms of like their friends and, one friend wants something else, and if that friend does something for that friend, and, that friend can do something for that friend, because they're all co-workers, right? It's not just, oh, well, as the social workers at the Fraser Health there in that old folks home, well, what do we get from this? Oh, yeah, the camera didn't like that word now, did it? What do we get from this? We just want the best place for John, and John is the one who wants to go live out in the country and abandon you guys and never talk to you guys again, and he hates you, and even though he wants the best of both worlds, and you're part of that world, but technically he really hates you, and when he leaves, he's never going to see you again, and we have absolutely no interest, and we're not manipulating him, and we're not coercing him, even though we're drugging him up, and we're not letting him know that he's being drugged up, even though we're putting him in a broken wheelchair, and we don't allow him to get up, and we don't help him to get up, and we make him and we humiliate him, and by making him sit in a dirty diaper all day long, because everybody else in the facility is sitting in a dirty diaper, because it's just easier for the workers to change the diaper than it is to help to walk the individual to the washroom. Same mentality, people. It is the same, because did you see how that guy with that truck carrying that mattress was with his glasses on, as if anybody would know who he is and would recognize him? You're in a fucking alley scooping up on a dirty mattress, right? Everybody comes out thinking it's my yard. You know why everybody came over to go see where those trucks were going? Because everybody knows I'm on the chopping block, so they all wanted to come and witness the show, people. That's exactly why they showed up in my back alley, to watch my shit being picked up by the city, so they can go home and fucking tell their friends. Talk. For a week. Alright, hanging over his fence with his dirty garbage in the yard. What's going on? Oh, they're finally coming for your stuff, eh? Even though he's got fucking garbage in his backyard. So anyway, I don't want to drag it on. I don't feel very well. Lots of pressure today in the eyes. None of that thumb shit, but just the hole in here and my jaw. It's getting hard to open. Right? And it's like really tight. Really, really tight in here, people. Alright? Because what's going on with my teeth? Right? No money to get to the dentist. No money to pay the dentist. Not that I would trust the dentist. And when I get to the dentist, eventually I'm going to have to go. They're just going to start ripping out my teeth. Because it's too late to fix the teeth. Right? Fraser Health and CIBC Bank took care of that one. Right? They took care of a lot. And now they sick their friends, the city of Surrey. Right? Because I got court on the 15th and the city of Surrey is showing up on the 14th. Right? With their picture book.
And for more than 2 decades of authoritarian rule,
okay, people. It is like almost 2 o'clock in the morning, August 7th, 2017. I am trying to make some zucchini relish. I just can't justify letting all my zucchini go to waste. I worked really hard for this, people, and I was looking forward to doing this. So I don't know what's going to happen. The city is being unreasonable. They're expecting thousands of hours of work being done in less than 2 weeks. Right. Okay, August 7th, 10:30 in the morning. Andre and I went blackberry picking again yesterday, just because he really likes doing it with me, right? And my kids really do like blackberry jam. A jar this size, which is 1 pint, which is about almost $4 or something or so in the grocery store, probably $4.50 now, right? It will be gone in a few days. So anyway, I'm going to make another batch of blackberry jam, but I'm not doing that today. I just brought it out of the fridge to show you that I'm going to do that, and I might even pick a few more. Smash these down, and at the end of the day or something, or maybe at the end of the day of tomorrow, I'll pick a few more so that when I make it, and then I'm pretty much done. Here, this sat overnight with some salt sprinkled in it. Now I'm going to rinse it and squeeze it out, and then I'm going to cook it for a little while with some vinegar in it and some sugar and mustard seeds and turmeric and a little bit of celery seed and some peppers, right? And then I'm going to can it, people. And then after I'm done canning, guess what we're doing? We're going outside. Okay, people, so it's not like I got a lot of time here, right? Anyway, I use shallots. I used like a couple of these, right? Because I didn't have enough onions. I used like 2 or 3 shallots with a small onion, 2 bell peppers, and a larger zucchini and a medium zucchini. Anyway, I squeezed everything out. I let it, put it in a shred. I cut it myself personally. I didn't use a food processor. And then I shredded the zucchini on a little shredder. And then I sprinkled some salt in it. You've seen it. Let it sit overnight. Right? Squeezed it out, rinsed it out, squeezed it out. And now I'm kind of just doing this on my own here because nothing is matching up, right? I'm just trying to like narrow it down to a basic recipe. So I'm going to be doing 2 cups of vinegar, 1 teaspoon or so of mustard seeds, you can see, right? Half a teaspoon of celery seed, half a teaspoon of ground pepper, where is it? Right there, or so, right? And then we've got, I'm going to put the what is it called? Nutmeg in. These ones are whole, you can see, right? I guess you can eat this stuff is soft as well. I kind of cracked it open, and anyway, there it is right in there. I ran my fingers through it, so that's about what, about a teaspoon of fresh nutmeg, right? 3 cups of sugar, you can see. Hold on. Okay, so far it tastes pretty good. I added a little bit more mustard seed and a little bit more celery seed. In terms of sugar, what did I put? 3 cups sugar and 2 cups vinegar. It tastes pretty good. Now, obviously that's a little runny, so I'm going to have to boil it down a bit. Right. And because I don't cook all the time, people, right? And I put things away in my cupboards and I forget where I put my cornstarch. What I had is I had cornstarch in an old can, had it for years and years and years and years. Then I had taken the cornstarch and I put it in a jar or someplace, and then I put it in one of my cupboards, and do you think I can find it? No, I cannot. So anyway, I've got tapioca starch, which is almost the same kind of thing, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to cook this. I brought it to a boil. Now I've turned it down to 3, and we're just going to simmer it for a half an hour or so. And then at the very tail end of it, I am just going to add a bit of cornstarch, well, sorry, tapioca starch, into it to thicken it up before I put it into the jars, which are boiling right now. And then 1/4 inch headspace, and because they're half pint, I don't know, I think you do it a little longer than pickles. I'm not sure. 15 minutes, 25 minutes. I'll have to look it up. Hold on. Okay. Look at that, people. Made in the USA. These ones are obviously older, right? The thing about these, though, you have to watch sometimes when you're getting into your older lids. I actually prefer them, but as time goes by, these are the newer ones, right? See, here's an old one right here. These ones right here, the gum on it tends to not, it just over time, I guess, oxidization, right? So I don't know if I'd necessarily use these ones. I mean, I've used them, and you know, they 9 times out of 10 they work, but I find they get a little gummy, right? This is the newer ones. They don't put as much on there as I would probably like, although they say as a company that there's enough gum on the rim to do the job. But every year, more and more, this gum is getting thinner and thinner and less as a cost-saving measure to the company, right? So, you know, keep that in mind when you're canning, right, people? These ones are obviously not as old as these ones. These ones are extremely old. These ones not so much old. These ones not even less, right? These ones are much newer. And again, you can see the difference in terms of the amount of rubber on each one. So anyway. Okay, people. So needless to say, I'm rushing here. You know, I've always had to be mother and father, do the night shift and the day shift, although morning was always Uncle John's shift, right? I'd be running around cleaning house or doing whatever at 4 in the morning, cooking sometimes, right? He'd be sleeping, not all the time. Sometimes he stayed up with me and we'd talk, and then I'd go to sleep anywhere between 2 and 7 in the morning, and he'd get up and do the morning shift with the kids, right? And I'd be like I would either sew, cook, clean, paperwork, didn't matter, it was always something, right? And then during the day when I get up, you know, I do building repairs, whatever it was, anything physical, because Uncle John was not capable of doing those things, right? So anyway, boiled my jars. You need a knife to take out any air pockets, right? I'm going to put a little bit of this there's tapioca starch in here just to thicken it up. It's been cooking for about 25 minutes, right? On 4 or so. So it doesn't need very much. Alright. Smells really, really good, people. But I'm rushing. And again, I don't feel very well. And when you're rushing and you don't feel very well, it just makes it worse. Started getting a headache yesterday. It's my teeth too, right? I got this pressure just going up this way. It's getting hard to open my jaw. Right. Obviously my eyes are bothering me. Okay, this looks pretty good. I like the way it tastes too. It actually is very, very tasty. Perfect. And then we're going to start putting it in jars. I decided to use the what do you call that? There you go. You see, you gotta use a knife, push everything down, make sure there's no air pockets. Right? I don't know. That kind of filled up fast. Take out a bit more. Put it in there. Oh yeah. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good, people. Uh-oh, there goes the camera. Seriously, people, what is the point of canning food, growing food, if you can't preserve it? Now, my son, my younger son, about 4 or 5 days ago, he got into this food storage because he wanted some canned meat. Chicken and beef. I said he could have some. And that's when Uncle John was around. I canned that when he was here. So, that was like in what, 2014? And my son ate some canned beef and some canned chicken. Because of what his mom did, because he had no money. And he wanted some protein because he works hard, right? And he's physically active out in the outskirts of chopping down trees so those fancy dancy $28 million homes can go up. Alright. Make sure you clean your rims. Sometimes I just like to twirl the jar, tap it a little bit on the bottom. Helps with the air bubbles. Right. I'm using... Anyway, I'm using these ones. They're okay. Right, and then after this, I'm going to take you out to my greenhouse, and I'm going to show you what those tomato plants are doing. Okay, so 8 cans, 8 jars, half pint. You can hear the jars are popping. I had it in the canner on a boil there for almost 15 minutes. And then you leave it sit, don't take off the lid, remember, for 5 minutes after you turn down the heat. Otherwise, you're going to break the pressure and things just go crazy in there. Just so you know, if you wanted to, you could put like a little bit of chili pepper in there. I didn't this time. Maybe next time I might. I have a whole bunch of these kicking around, but for some reason I can't seem to find them. Again, I have limited space in my house, people, so, things get moved around and get packed away, and, and then when it comes time to need it, I can't find it, and anyway, I need to find these ones, because I only have a few of them left, right? But I have more somewhere in a container, and as you can see, we still got this big one yet, and more growing in the garden. Now I'm going to take you out to the greenhouse. Hold on. I want you to take a good look at all these tomatoes. Like, this is just infested with tomatoes, people. I'm going to be canning these tomatoes, right? Look at this. I planted them specifically for canning. Cucumbers are growing nice, right? We got some kind of a squash going up in here. I don't know. Those cucumbers are growing, you can see. Different kind of cucumbers, right? There's another one, and that plant is still just climbing. I'm going to give it a stick today, people. It's just going to fall over. Obviously, this needs to be harvested. I don't know. I need to harvest this, people. My last batch I took out, I put it in the fridge and it never got harvested. It's going yellow. But look at these things. They're falling over. So I have to brace them up. They're all starting to fall over because I haven't been in here, people. I've been busy. All right? Falling over, falling over, falling over. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at how, spider webs. Hold on. Spider season. Walking into a spider web with a spider on it, crawling around on my camera. Anyway, you can see, my landlady said she wanted to try some of these from inside this greenhouse when they're done. So, as you can see, these things are just sprouting up more and more. Like, these things are massive. So I have to put some sticks in here. Like, these ones don't have sticks. These ones don't have sticks. They're falling over. Everything's falling over. Right? So I have to do this today, people. Right? I'm not even twisting them on. I'm just giving them sticks. So I look for some little twist tie. I have it around here somewhere, but who knows. Right? So, cucumbers, I don't know. Oh, freaking cameraman. So technically this cucumber plant needs some nutrients, but again, you know, I don't have a lot of time. So I try and give it water anyway every day. I did plant can some cucumbers from here. So at best, the tomato plants are doing good. This is siding for the greenhouse. Mostly on the other side and in here. You can see it's falling over. It's already growing. So I'll probably just leave that one there. That one's falling over. Right? Beets are getting bigger. Last time I was out here, this is what I was working on. You can see I'm pulling it out. So some of those sheets of plywood, I'm just going to put them up in here. Right? Still using this stuff, people. Like, serious. Right? I have compost boxes to fix. Use them for spikes. Whatever, right? String up those gutter things. Right? That can be used on the greenhouse or the sheds or whatever. There's an arbor for the big pond. Right? Somebody gave that to me, so I'm going to put that more than likely in the shed. Obviously, we know where that came from. I haven't had a chance to wash those yet. That's a full day of washing. Because I got a few other little things around the yard. Look at this. This thing needs a post too. So I'll post that up. Tomato plants in the back over there. Beans are going mad. Look at that. There's beans. This one here crawling up to the sky too. Crazy, people. You can see, look at this. They're already starting to turn red. I've probably given away 10 from here already, people. 10 tomatoes just from this one particular plant. Hold on a minute. These ones need to be sticked up. They actually took quite well. You have to remember, people, I use my own composting dirt when I plant this stuff, right? See, we got more zucchinis coming in here. Do you see? Here's another one, right? Do you see that? I can't see it. There it is. Do you see it? It's a huge cucumber, or I should say zucchini patch. More beans. And look at these tomatoes. These ones need to be kind of with sticks as well. And then here's this grape patch. I just can't get over this grape patch. This grape patch is just infested with grapes. I like just standing here. It's so cool. It is so cool. So cool, people. I wouldn't even know what to do with them. I've always left them alone, but they've never grown in here before. This is the first year that I've ever seen this. They're even over here.